Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Golden Gloves Chat Show. With me, my special guest, Roarke Razor Sharp Knapp. And I can see why they call you Razor Sharp, because you're looking razor sharp. Obviously, that's because you're a barber, right?
Yeah.
That nickname, Razor Sharp, we'll talk a bit more about that later. But welcome, my special guest, Roarke. He's been with us many times. And this is definitely not the first week chatting, and definitely not going to be the last. You'll be fighting on the 2nd of September, Roarke, at Empress Palace, on a bill called Palace Nights, a triple headline, I'm calling it. Brought to you by Golden Gloves and, of course, World Sports Betting, and shown live on Supersport, your World of Champions. Roarke Knapp versus Przemyslaw Zysk from Poland. That'll be a 10-round international fight. That's your fight, of course. We're going to talk a bit more about the whole build just now. I want to hear your opinion, Roarke. Ricardo Manajika, your stablemate, fights Kevin Luis Munoz from Argentina for the IBO Junior Bantamweight World title, scheduled for 12 rounds. And then the South African Junior Middleweight title fight. Brandon Taser challenges your other stablemate, Shavante Koopman, for the title. That's a massive domestic fight. I'm going to talk to you more about it just now. The undercard, Ntelela Nkosi, Keanu Koopman, Bevan Sabanda, Justin Mostert. What a show. Mouth-watering, star-studded undercard with 3 mainliners. Brilliant tournament on the 2nd of September at Empress Palace. Okay, Roarke, let's talk about your fight, your amazing tournament. You are 16-1-1, 18 fights, only that single loss. Fantastic, brilliant career. I want to talk to you about some other things before we talk about the big fight. In your spare time as a professional boxer, hobbies, what do you do?
Look, I get up to a lot of different things. My favorite hobby would be to spend time with my loved ones. Obviously, as you know from experience, training is quite an intense task to carry out. So whenever I have the chance, I like to spend my downtime with my family, relax, whether it be watching fights or keeping up with South African sports. I'm into motorcycles and motor racing, so whenever the Formula One.
Do you race bikes?
I used to when I was a kid.
Okay,
I used to when I was a youngster. I actually used to race motocross. My dad being a biker and a mechanic and owning bike shops, it was one of two things. Being English was so football and motorcycles, so I did both. I raced motocross and motorcycles up until the age of 12, 13, and I gave it up. So got a bit of history in that realm. So as much as I don't do it anymore, it's still a massive love of mine and still very passionate about it. So like I said, when I'm down with my friends and my family relaxing, I'll either watch the MotoGP, motocross, or the Formula One, keep up to date with what's going on in the
So who's your favourites out there in motocross?
Sure. Motocross is
and MotoGP.
So MotoGP, obviously, I have to rock with Brad Binder.
Okay, Brad Binder's doing a great job.
He's doing phenomenal. And his brother Darren Binder also.
Yes.
Obviously, you can't forget the greats, Valentino Rossi, Jorge Lorenzo, Marquez, all of that. Those are more or less my favourite guys. But at the moment,
Formula One, you follow Formula One as well?
I do follow Formula One. I'm a Max Verstappen fan.
Yes,
I just
Verstappen's
like that
the
youngster.
boss, eh?
He's an absolute animal. I love his aggression. I love everything about what he brings to Formula One. And very entertaining driver to watch.
Fantastic. Well, it's nice to know what you enjoy other than boxing. We spoke off air. You said you don't play golf like your manager, Marco Luis, is not a bad golfer.
No.
We get on the golf course a few times. But let's talk. So that's what you do in your spare time as well. You enjoy. Do you go to movies and?
Oh yeah, I love movies, but I try and leave that for after fights, just because I love to snack out and enjoy all the nice sweets and what comes with a movie. I can't go to a movie without snacks, so I rather do it when I'm in camp. Outside of fights, she says it's also one of my favorite things. Any opportunity I can go to watch a movie, I'll definitely do it. So movies are my favorite thing for sure.
You're talking about snacking with junk food and what do you like? Enjoy? Chocolates?
All of it. Popcorn and Astros together. That's the number one combination. So after fights, that's my staple when I go to the movies. Popcorn and Astros, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize with boxers, because it's so hard making the weight.
Yeah.
After a fight, you climb into the junk food, don't you?
Definitely. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'll put my hand up and own up to it. I'm definitely guilty of indulging. And I'm sure most fighters are also. From experience, when you spend so much time dropping weight and being on a diet, the minute you are allowed to and you have freedom, you don't just do it to enjoy it. You're gonna go overboard, and I'm guilty of doing so. But when it's fight time,
Astros and popcorn and sugar.
Astros and popcorn.
So in my time, it was called Chelsea bun. I don't think they call it that anymore. I think it's like a cinnamon bun now.
Yeah, Cinnabon.
Yeah, Cinnabon, yeah. I couldn't wait to after fight.
Yeah.
Tuck into the Cinnabon.
We all have our staples. We all have the things that we look forward to. For me, it's everything. Anything I can get my hands on that I'm not allowed to have in camp, I'll have it.
But okay, that's when you're not in training camp for a fight. Now that you are in training camp for this big fight on the 2nd of September, tell the viewers what it's like in a day of a Roarke Knapp. I mean, you're training, 3 times a day?
Yeah, I can train up to 3 times a day. Some sessions would be a lot more intense than others. Be that as it may, even though it is 3 sessions a day, it's not all 100%, balls to the wall. Some sessions, maybe 2 out of the 3 will be, and then 1 will be like a nice recovery session. And then even when I've done those sessions, I'm still wired to boxing, whether watching, boxing videos and learning a few new things. I'm always on. I'm always on with boxing when I'm in camp, whether I'm training or not. Even if I'm.
But all your training is linked to to boxing.
It's all linked. I mean, obviously, when we have a fight, we've got a day scheduled to fight. Everything is full steam ahead for that. So. My whole life, obviously, as it has to be centered around that. Even recovery is work. You have to put time and effort into recovery, sleeping, ice baths, saunas, hot Epsom salt baths, making sure you're eating the right foods to recover. So it's a non-stop thing.
How important is sleeping to rest, for example?
Honestly, sleeping is probably the best kept secret. That is like the closest thing you'll get to a PED, just because of the benefits of sleeping. If you get good sleep, quality sleep, that's when the body recharges and recovers best.
It's basically as important as a hard worker.
That's the most important thing. It's the most important thing, whether that be a 2-3 hours sleep in the day if you've got the time, or a full 9 hours of sleep. I make sure I prioritize my sleep, and so I can push harder in sessions. On average, I train about twice a day. If I train twice a day, I put everything into those sessions. So it does get in quite.
It's 110% in.
Absolutely. So by the time the end of the week comes, I'm pulling amps, pushing to get the end of the week done, and then I can obviously have a break on a Sunday, relax, rest and recover, as I spoke about.
Talk to us about your relationship with now a long-time trainer, because it's been many years now. Vusi, Matola, you guys have become such a close team.
Yeah, I've got a phenomenal relationship with my trainer, Vusi. I love that man to death. We've been in a hell of a few fights together. And I've spent the majority of my career with him. I was actually speaking to him at the gym the other day when I was looking around at all the young talent we got in the gym, and I realized I've been in that gym with Vusi the longest out of everybody, which is
yes. In fact, that is something that I want to. Sorry, interrupting, but you're like the captain of the gym now, which is fantastic. You're the main man. You start off as the young guy, the head. Cutting hair,
my dues, that's it.
And a prelim fighter, and now you're the captain. You're the big guy in the gym. You're the champion. You're multiple professional champion.
Yeah,
and the guys look up to you.
People forget that. I'm guilty of forgetting that as well. That I've paid my dues. I started at the bottom, and I worked my way up to be in the position that I'm at. And I don't look at myself as in the captain of the gym. I look at myself as just one of the fellas that's just trying to make a way for myself in boxing and graft with all the lads. But I have been with Vusi for the longest now. I'm one of his veteran fighters now. I've been with him for a long time. The rest of my career has been with him. Bar 6 fights.
Yeah.
I'm coming up to my 19th fight now, so I've been with him for a long time. We've got a very unique relationship. Obviously, he's got a different relationship with all the different fighters, but I think mine and his is special just because of that bond we've had and for the time we've had. I've seen everything. I've seen his ups and downs. I've been through everything. He's seen my ups and downs. We've been through a lot together as fighter and trainer, and it's a relationship that I cherish and that I wouldn't change for the world.
Fantastic. And just getting back to the point of at the gym, I mean, the youngsters really look up to you. The gym's thriving now with such lovely talent. And like I say, you're the captain of the ship there. You're the main guy that the guys look up to, and you do the hard work. And you're a nice ambassador for the gym, and it's good for the guys to look up to you. So thank you for doing that. Let's get to my next opinion about you is that you are becoming the face of boxing in South Africa. Following obviously in the footsteps of a guy like Kevin Arena, who's still out there and still putting bums on seats. And the crowd love Kevin and the crowd love you. And that's what we need for boxing in this country. You're 25 years old. So you, like I said, you're following the steps of Arena. You are to me, becoming the face of boxing. Is that pressure for you, knowing now that South Africa's South Africa's you carrying South Africa on your shoulders now. You're not just fighting for Roarke Knapp, the little boy, anymore. You're now fighting for South Africa.
Look, there's definitely expectations, and I'm well aware of that. But I wouldn't say about pressure. To be honest, for me, it's only a celebration and an honor to be in that position. Pressure is being a single parent trying to, create a lifestyle for your kids, make sure your kids survive, and make sure you guys can actually survive. That's pressure. Pressure to do what I do, it's not. I don't have that. It's more of a celebration. Kevin Loreen has laid out the blueprint on how to do it. Let's call it what it is. Nobody's done it better than he has. So I'd be stupid not to follow in those footsteps and to, take a page out of his book and add it to my own and then try and add my own flavor to it. I do intend on doing that. I never thought that I'll be in this position. I got in the sport just for the love of the sport and to see how far I can possibly get. And I'm in a position, past my wildest expectations, and I intend on taking it further.
It's thanks to the hard work you've put in.
Absolutely.
That hard work, that discipline, that dedication.
Not just my hard work, but as a collective effort from my team, from my promotional team with you, Brian, you, Rodney, Jeff, everybody looking after me, my manager, my trainer. It's a collective effort from everybody. It's not just me. Obviously, it's my job and my diligence to make sure I work, make sure I produce the results, and the rest takes care of itself.
Yeah, thanks, Roarke. And as I said, you make us very proud, I must tell you that. People ask me about you. This is something interesting I don't think I've told you. I told our promoter, Rodney, and he enjoyed it, that that's how you do well, or your fighters are doing well. People come to me and they say to me, that Roarke Knapp, does he train out of your gym? And I say, yeah, he does, proudly, And I say, that guy can fight. That guy we enjoy watching at Empress Palace. So that's thanks to guys like you, and of course, like you said, in the footsteps of Lorena, that you guys are carrying the flag for South Africa. So that's exciting. Let's talk Przemyslaw Zysk. This is your opponent now on the 2nd of September at Empress Palace. Why did you choose I know you don't manage yourself, but I've asked Marco the question as well. Why such a tough opponent?
Look, at this level, the best have to fight the best. There's no room to wiggle and try and get out of these type of fights. I understand exactly where I'm at, and I understand the importance of beating these guys and facing these guys. It also develops me into a better fighter. So when we get to the elite level, I'm accustomed to it. So like I said, Kevin Lorena did it, so I have to do it also. It's part of the journey. And like I said, it's a celebration. It's a celebration to be able to fight the best in your division. I mean, most people go out in their whole life and they don't get to reach those type of pinnacles in their respective fields. So it's only a pleasure and it's an honor to be able to do what I do and at that level and against guys like this guy from Poland. Tough competitor, but I mean, he's never faced Roarke Knapp before, so I know I've got that one covered.
And it's our Golden Gloves motto now, the best must face the best. That's what I mean, the audience aren't stupid out there. People are watching it live on SuperSport. People are paying a lot of money to come to a boxing down at Empress Palace and watch a Golden Glove show. They want to see the best against the best, and that is what it's all about. So you guys are fighting. We're going to talk about the whole build just now. It's incredible. I looked at it on the way here before our interview. There's so few losses between all you guys on the triple headliner. Yeah. So it's an amazing tournament. But let's just continue with Zysk. So he's had 19 fights, only a single loss against Sam Eggington, and that is for the IBO world title. And he never got stopped. He lost some points. So you're fighting a really credible guy. 18 fights, 1 loss is your record. Very similar record. So a tough fight. We spoke about that, like you said. You answered it perfectly well. The best must face the best. Going back to your division, there's never been a world champion in the junior middleweight division in South Africa. We're going back to guys like Bobby Chazali was a good fighter. Charles Oosthuizen, in fact, Tommy Oosthuizen's father was a good champion. Charlie Weir fought for a world title and lost to Davey Moore. Gregory Clark was a brilliant South African champion in the junior middleweight division. Bushy Bester, Gaetstein, the list goes on, just to mention a few. But if you surpass them, which you're going to do, you'll become South Africa's first and only junior middleweight champion of the world. How does that feel?
Listen, it's all exciting. It's music to my ears. I mean, I got in the sport to become a world champion. That was my main goal. But now to have the title of possibly being the first world champion, that's just a cherry on the cake. I honestly do intend on being the first world champion South Africa has produced in the junior middleweight division. And it's all exciting. I'm living the dream. So holding on tight with both hands and riding this wave as best as I can.
And I think it's coming close. I think 2024 is going to be a big Roarke Knapp year, as in getting a world championship fight. So we look forward to that. Let's talk about this tournament, Palace Nights at the Empress Palace on the 2nd of September. Your stablemate, Ricardo Malajica versus Kevin Luis Munoz from Argentina. Tell us about Ricardo in the gym. Does he work hard?
Listen, Ricardo does work hard. That boy lives in the gym. Morning, night, afternoon, he's in the gym all the time. And, he's fighting a tough competitor. He's at that level where he also has to fight the best. He's got a world title opportunity and none more deserving so than him. A great character and a great ambassador for the sport and overall a great fighter. So I only wish him the best, and I don't doubt that he will become a new world champion on the 2nd of September. I always give him the best advice that I possibly can give him based on my experiences.
Yes.
And ultimately, the rest is up to him. He has to want it more than the rest of us do, and he does. So,
and as I said, these youngsters look up to you, Roarke, and he's one of your stablemates that looks up to you as well. What I find about Ricardo, which is interesting, you're both the same age now. Ricardo's turning 25. 25, somebody asked me not too long ago, what is the peak of your life like as a sportsman? And it's hard to say because people are different. But I would say, generally speaking, at 25 years old, you love
you start to come into your own.
You become a real man.
I think from the ages of 25, 30, maybe 35 pushing it, those are the formative years where you can pretty much,
You've got to make it happen by 30.
As much juice out of it.
If you haven't made it by 35, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. I think from 25 up to 35, it's a nice gap to take advantage of that time and, like I say, squeeze as much juice out of that fruit as you possibly can.
Fantastic. So Malajica in his first world title fight hopefully becomes the IBO junior bantamweight champion of the world on the 2nd of September. And then the big domestic fight. It's probably the best domestic fight in the country if I have to choose anybody.
Yeah.
If you look at the ratings, Brandon Tyser challenging Shavante Koopman, also your stablemate, who's the current South African champion. 11-0. He's never done anything wrong. He's such a smooth, calm, collected customer in the ring. Like a cool as a cucumber, they call it. And you spar with him almost every day. You fought Brandon Tyser. You've been in the ring with both these guys. You know these guys. Talk to us about this big fight.
I think you hit the nail on the head with when you talk about Shavante being as cool as a cucumber. He's the epitome of still waters run deep. Very cool, calm, placid gentleman, but when he gets in the ring, he's a firecracker. I've been in the ring with both, as you've said, and it's going to be an exciting fight, a great domestic fight. That, as far as I'm aware, they fought each other in the amateurs.
Yes.
So.
But that doesn't really count. Let's be honest.
Yes and no. There's
when you're pro, you're a man.
Listen, the pro game is different to the amateur game, and I think Shavante and Brandon are also two of the best we have in the country. So that's an exciting fight, for sure. I only want the best for my teammate. I do believe that he will come out victorious, and that's not to throw any shade on Brandon. Again, I've got nothing but the utmost respect for him. He's one hell of a competitor, and also they're both great guys. They're just really
they're lovely guys. Well, you guys are all great guys.
They're both great ambassadors for the sport, so the crowd are definitely in for a treat with that one. That's going to be fireworks from round one, I believe.
How do you see it playing out? Look, me personally, like you say, Shavante is a cool, calculated guy. Picks his punches nicely, like I always love about you, the way you pick and you place your punches. Shavante does that beautifully as well. Yeah. He starts a bit slow, I think. But when he gets going,
once he gets going, and as accurate as he is, and the way he picks his punches, he can be quite a lot to deal with. Once he gets his momentum going, he's quite a formidable person to stop. Sometimes he might not throw a lot of punches, but the way he lands and the type of accuracy feels like he's throwing a lot. It feels like he's got a lot of volume, and great movement, great technicalities, great basics. Also, him and his brother, they work on their basics more than most I've seen. Brandon, very classy, slick. He's got a few dimensions to him.
Tough come forward, Brandon Tyson.
Let's not forget how tough he is.
Very
you can hit that thing with a kitchen sink. He's going to stand in front of you and look at you. He's that. I don't know.
He's durable.
He is.
If you can hit him with a ring chair, he's going to
just look at you. He'll smile at you. So it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Which is the credit to Brandon. Yeah, he's a tough customer. He comes to fight. So it's a war.
Either way, it's a war.
If you look at it, that's what we want in boxing. If you look at those two, I don't know what the odds are going to be. Who's going to be the favorite? But to me, there's no favorite. I mean, it's hard to choose a winner. We'll know who's the best on the 2nd of September.
The best scenario for that fight is boxing will win, regardless of the outcome. Boxing wins.
Yes. Absolutely. Thanks, Roarke. And then the undercard, I mean, mouth-watering. Intelelo Nkosi, Keanu Koopman, Bevan Sabanda, Justin Mustard, mouth-watering undercard. As you said, these youngsters, all that look up to
Just
you.
pure talent.
Great talent coming through the ranks, haven't we?
I forget myself. I've been a professional for almost 8 years now. Yeah, I'm in my 7th year. So 7th year as a professional, I've been around, I've seen enough. And Keanu Koopman and Bevan are honestly some of the best talents that I've seen. Keanu, diligent and dedicated as they come. You know, he's forever living the sport. He breathes the sport. You know, so I can't wait to see him get another victory on the night. And Bevan Sabanda, that's my boy. That's got a lot of love and time for him. He's a good kid, great heart, and an unbelievable talent. He's a special talent.
Yes, very special.
Very special.
Him and Keanu,
Just
and all the youngsters. And you know, and I've said it so often where people say to me, yeah, but isn't boxing dying out? And I'm like, no, you don't know what's... Unless you come to the gym and you come to the Golden Gloves fight, you'll see that boxing is probably on a high right now.
Yeah.
There's so much talent coming through. You agree with me?
Yeah, for sure. There's a new influx of talent that we haven't seen for a long time. And I think it's you know, they are playing a role in creating the sport to make it bigger and you know, hopefully put it in the eyes that more than it has been in previous years. And let's not forget, like, we've got guys like Shavante, we've got Brandon, myself, and we're still in the mix.
And of course, Darren Rousseau's in the same gym as you as well.
Also another talented fighter, very
also top rated junior middleweight.
Definitely, he's also a force to be reckoned with.
The division is great with you four guys.
We've got a stacked division, and in general, boxing in this country is stacked. I feel like we're at an all-time high now, so we just have to use our momentum and carry it. That's the best we can do.
Fantastic. Well, great speaking to you, Roarke. I mean, we look forward to the 2nd of September, Palace Nights at Empress Palace, a triple headliner. You will be the last fight of the evening. Ricardo Manajika again in the IBO world title. Brandon Taser, Shavante Koopman. Fantastic local tournament brought to you by Golden Gloves and of course World Sports Betting. If you want to get tickets are selling fast. Speak to Jeff and Marie Ellis. You can contact them on our website. From me, Brian Mitchell, thank you for watching. Thank you, Roarke Knapp.
Thank you
for a very special guest.